Isn't it easy to notice everything that's going wrong, right? In all kinds of situations, whether it's with our spouse, our job, our business, our kids, right? Ourselves. Like, how many times do we notice everything we're doing wrong and we don't notice what we're doing right? It's so easy to walk through life looking at everything that's wrong. And honestly, there's all kinds of conversations around that. What everybody else is doing wrong, how everything's wrong with the world. I mean, it extends in every area. So if I were going to say one thing, only one thing that changed my life forever, and that truly, truly is the foundation of an extraordinary life at any age, it is appreciation. When I was at my lowest points, when I was struggling with so much stress and anxiety, when I was diagnosed with cancer right after I was divorced and didn't ask for child support and was self employed, didn't have paid sick days, learning to appreciate every little thing that was coming my way, noticing the people that stepped up to help, the coincidences, oh my gosh, so many things. When I felt so overwhelmed that I couldn't even really articulate, as in picking up a phone, and I just said to God, the universe, I need this. And I don't even have the capacity to know who to ask or how to ask for it. And I just gave it to God, the universe, and someone would show up who could do whatever I needed, who offered to help, and I said I need this. And learning that, and then, appreciating whoever and whatever showed up, so many things. And it made the journey become so much more beautiful in the midst of the feeling sick and the pain, the surgeries and the chemotherapy and the radiation and the financial stress and all the changes that go anyway when you're going through a divorce that have nothing to do with cancer that you're still dealing with. Because I found the tumor 3 days after the divorce was final. So there was so much, so much. But appreciation, really looking for things, learning to think about them and write them down and say them out loud made such a difference in my resilience, in my ability to navigate, in my ability to still function. And then things got easier and maybe I wasn't as good at appreciating. And then I stepped out to help my brother after a severe traumatic brain injury and ended up in a really difficult financial situation and struggling and depressed and, you know, anxious and stressed and all the things. And again, when I decided that I wasn't willing to go bankrupt, the thing that really helped me turn that miserable place I was in around, because I had to change my mindset if I was going to have a different outcome, and appreciation. Oh, appreciation did that. And so appreciation does so many things. When we get good at appreciating, we start looking for appreciation. You can't look for all the bad and look for all the good at the same time. Your brain just doesn't work that way. You're either doing one or the other. So when I was in a really negative space, when I was financially close to bankruptcy, every time I did anything, really, I saw all my failures. I saw everything that was going wrong in the clinic every time I walked in the door. And when I really started practicing appreciation every single day, journaling it in the morning before work, what happened was I started seeing it more in real time. I started noticing everything that was going right, and my focus changed. This is the importance of appreciation, is its ability, because anytime we're in a negative space, whatever that negative space is, our focus is on negative, and that creates negative brain chemistries. It affects our body's ability to function and heal. It affects our brain's ability to function well, which is why we often end up in car accidents or other things happening while we're going through that, because our brain isn't functioning very well, because that high level of cortisol is slowing down your brain's ability to make decisions, to see solutions. And those lower levels of the positive chemicals is the same thing. And appreciation, just making an effort to find things, little things. And I don't mean gratitude. Sometimes gratitude can work, but the difference is sometimes our definition of gratitude is thankful for a roof over my head, but I hate this house. Thankful for, things that you don't feel good about. Like you feel like you should be thankful for them. Appreciation is about thinking about the things that feel good and make you feel good, savoring that feeling of feeling better, noticing what makes you feel good, the things that people have done, the things that showed up, some beautiful object that you love, a plant that has meaning to you, anything that makes you feel good inside, that brings out a memory that's positive or reminds you of a person that's positive, anything that makes you feel good. That's true appreciation. And that's what I'm talking about. And the same thing goes for appreciating yourself, but don't limit that to big things. That needs to start with little things. Start appreciating all the little things. Oh, I got the dishes in the dishwasher tonight. Oh, I actually made myself dinner. Oh, I brushed my teeth. Depending on where you are, if you're in a really tough place, appreciate the fact that you got out of bed. And if you didn't get out of bed, that you're still awake, you're still here. Look for things to appreciate and savor them. Savor getting yourself in the best feeling place you can. Emotion is part of how we change where we are, is starting to take control, right? And so realizing that we're giving our power away. And so appreciation comes into that, because if there's someone I'm having a hard time getting along with, I can use appreciation as a tool to look for the best parts of that person and then focus on the best parts of that person so that I can figure out how I can change that. Because what happens, we sometimes, if we have a clash with somebody, we get into a rut where we they say something and we react, or we say something and they react. And then our conversation goes right down I start thinking, well, he always says that, or she always says that. And they start saying the same thing. And then that's how the conversation goes down this negative pathway. Our brains aren't even functioning anymore. We're off in this reactive mode and this negative sequence. And then we go tell other people about it. And all that time, there's no appreciation. And there's also no positive feelings or solutions coming out of that. And so we can use appreciation to help us gain traction. And, the same thing goes if you've got a child that you're having a difficult time with, simple things like looking for the things you love and appreciate in that child and focusing on those. And don't do it in the moment that you're having a fight with them, because you can't concentrate on that, right? Do this every day in the morning. If you're going through a difficult period with someone in your family, then focus on the good things. Focus on, if it's your spouse, why did you marry him? What do you love about him? What good things? Focus on that, because what happens sometimes is we focus on some little thing that in the whole scheme of things isn't that big a deal, but we let it start eating at us and eating at the relationship. And we talk about it to others, and we get in the same arguments over and over with no solution, because in that moment we're giving our power away, and we're saying, well, I need him to do this, or I need her to do this for me to be okay, and she needs to be this way or that way. And we've lost track of the beauty that is them. We're not loving them unconditionally, right? We're demanding that they be or do something different for us to be okay. And that's giving our power away, because we're needing somebody else to behave a certain way. It's a lose lose situation. And it's something that is so common in our society. It's how we operate in a lot of ways. Outside in is another way of saying it. So appreciation can help us break those moments that those relationship clashes that we're having, and start a track where we're having real conversations. Because when you start to notice the good things and you make an effort not to go off down that reactive path, but actually think about, how could we have a different conversation? How could this work out better? What solution could we possibly start to come up with so that we're not having the same argument? What can I see differently in him? Can I step over this? Is there so many good things that really I'm being, or is there a way around it? See, we start our brain functioning again, right? And it starts with appreciation, because that allows us to get out of that negative, he always does this, I really hate this, whatever it is that's taking you off down that path.